Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Manchester United have decided not to contest the three-match ban given to Zlatan for his elbow on Tyrone Mings in the 1-1 draw with Bournemouth at the weekend. Brian McBride, your thoughts first of all, was it a deserved ban?
Yeah, it's a deserved ban, and it comes in retribution as far as Zlatan not feeling protected. He went out and purposely elbowed Tyrone Mings. And you know, the surprising thing to me was that he did it that way. There's plenty of ways of getting sort of retribution without being seen. This was pretty obvious, and I was pretty shocked that the referee or the linesman didn't actually see it during the game. So in the end, Zlatan's explanation fell on nobody's ears, and unfortunately for Manchester United, now they'll be without Zlatan for 3 games.
Yeah, those 3 games, it'll be okay for the Europa League against Rostov, but a very important game against Chelsea in the FA Cup, followed by a couple of league games against Middlesbrough and West Brom. The FA Cup game is the game that stands out.
Yeah, that's the biggest miss. And the importance of Zlatan that he's been to Manchester United is immeasurable. You could see not only on the field his presence and late goals, I think he actually has a bigger influence throughout the whole team, whether it's in the locker room and training. That sort of things transfer onto the field. Marcus Rashford has some big shoes to fill. He had a great season last year, his first season in. The growth that we want to see out of Marcus Rashford, this is his opportunity. You learn things as a player when you watch in training someone that is basically a mentor, which I think Zlatan can be for Rashford. Now it's his chance to see what he saw in training, what he's seen in games, and bring that into his qualities, which he has plenty of with pace, his ability to get in right position and score goals.
Okay, well, Manchester United's leading scorer will certainly be a big miss for the club as they try and cope with his absence for the FA Cup game against Chelsea. That coming up on the Monday, as well as those Premier League games. Keep it here at ESPN FC for more. Could the world's most expensive player in Paul Pogba actually be a liability for Manchester United? It seems that Frank Lampard believes that he might turn into a bit of a problem for Jose Mourinho and the club given his price tag. What do you think about Pogba's influence so far, Brian, on this season? Maybe Lampard has a point?
I think he has a point in the short term. When you look at the price of a player and the impact you expect when you bring a player with that magnitude onto the field, he hasn't necessarily hit the ground running completely. What I'd say to you is Manchester United made this purchase not just for this season, although this is definitely an idea as far as building out the squad, and they want him to have a big impact. He has had a positive impact upon this team. It hasn't necessarily been at the value of £90 million. But more importantly, Manchester United bought him for the future. And they understand that if they were going to bring in a player with this capability or this longevity, they're going to have to pay over the odds. So I think that Manchester United is looking at it from the standpoint of, does this appease our marketers for right now? All these investors, all these people who have said, you know what, we're going to advertise, we're going to have you represent us. Please have us have a good product to put on the field. That makes those people happy. I think on the bigger picture, Paul Pogba is going to pay off. He's 23 years old. He's got plenty left to learn and grow, along with the qualities he already has. So in the short term, if people want to judge him for his £90 million value at this point in time compared to, say, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, yes, he's not in that level yet. But I think long-term value for Manchester United, it's going to be a good buy. That said, it also makes the marketers happy. So all in all, I think Manchester United is quite content with what they had to do.
Some interesting comments from Jose Mourinho suggesting that next summer, maybe players of half his quality are going to be going for the same price or even more, and that maybe he'll seem cheap at the price. I mean, as much as it's Mourinho, does he have a point? Have they bought early into this next cycle of TV money? I
completely agree with you. I think he has a great point, and he has a great point because now you see players coming out, that the player in Torino. Torino's basically saying he's worth 130 million euros. Belotti, thank you. Those things are going to happen. This market is going to continue to grow. As long as there's silly money and there's owners that really aren't afraid to put money behind making sure their squads get better, yeah, you're going to have scenarios where teams pay over the odds. The thing that needs to happen is there has to be people realizing what kind of value am I going to get out of it immediately and long term. And if they see that value, then yes, people are going to start paying exorbitant more amounts of money than they already are.
Okay, well, regardless of whether he's value for money this season, people, it seems, are continuing to talk about Paul Pogba. He'll turn 24 next week. Happy birthday in advance from everyone here at ESPNFC.com. I'm sure there's more on Paul Pogba. Keep it here.
So news today from the FA, Tyrone Mings of Bournemouth has been banned for 5 games for standing on the head of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Your thoughts, Stevie Nicol?
I think that's the correct ban. I think 5 games is probably what he deserved. It's not your normal straight red. It's not your normal sending off, which is 3 games. It was very much egregious. So yeah, I'm quite happy that he got 5 games.
If you'd been told before this incident that Zlatan would get 3 games for the elbow and Mings would get 5 games for what he did, do you think that would have been fair?
I think there are different circumstances to somebody taking an elbow. On this particular occasion, this isn't just an accident. This isn't a case of somebody putting their elbow accidentally where it shouldn't have been.
Premeditated?
This is absolutely 100% premeditated. And why he doesn't get 5 the same as Mings,
well,
I don't know. Listen, and I'm not trying to say that what Mings did isn't terrible. I mean, it's horrendous.
I'm not even sure it was intentional. I'd like to think it wasn't intentional from Mings. Oh, Ibrahimovic is guilty as charged. And that is the ban, a 3-game. The precedent has been set before. But proving intent in the Mings situation, I think if Bournemouth wanted to take this much higher, they would probably still lose, but I think it's worth the case to prove intent.
I can assure you, when a footballer leaves the ground...
You think he knew what he was doing?
When a footballer leaves the ground, you're aware of where you're going to plant your feet.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be injured. It's kind of self-preservation. So he knows exactly where he's putting his feet. And he 100% catches Ibrahimovic, no question, on purpose. I just don't accept that Ibrahimovic shouldn't get 5 games as well. I mean, try and explain what's worse. Clipping somebody in the back of the head with your studs or sticking your elbow in somebody's temple.
They're both nasty.
They're both nasty. But to me, there's no difference between the two.
But you make it up as you go along if you think...
5.
No, you can't give Ibrahimovic 5 for a 3-game ban. That what he did is a 3-game ban. Previously, 3 games for an elbow. In the future, 3 games. Because the FA came out and said when they released the statement about Mings that they felt it deserved more, that's why he got more. Because this is seen as a worse offence by the laws of the game.
Which I don't understand. Why is it worse? I don't see how it's worse. The intent on both, from both parties, is exactly the same. And they're both just fortunate that they got up and walked away. So, to me, there's no difference between the two. Guess what? Change the rules then. Change the way you go about giving out bans. That's the job. That's what they do.
So, the former Liverpool player wants the rules rewritten for Manchester United and wants Ibrahimovic banned for 5 games. At Steve Nicol 61 on Twitter, at ESPN
Get your spoon up.
FC for more. Join the debate. He's at it.
It's still hard for me to believe that we are going to play tomorrow. I know that we have to, but it's hard for me to believe that we are going to play tomorrow in that field, if you can call it a field. And I don't know which team to play, really. I don't know which team is going to play. I don't know if Mkhitaryan is going to play. I don't know.
Wayne Rooney seems to be linked with just about everybody these days, and more recently he's been linked with a move back to his former club, Everton, and Ronald Koeman, the manager there, seems to be flirting with the idea of having him there, saying that he would make the squad stronger and that he still believes he's playing at a high level. Shaka Hissop is with me. Shaka, would this be good business though?
I don't think so, and nothing ticks any boxes for me about all of this.
From Wayne Rooney's side?
Well, for either side, in all honesty. And as much as Wayne Rooney, yes, I think can contribute and can continue to contribute in the Premier League, for what it's going to cost just in terms of salary outlay, I'm not sure that it's entirely worth it for a club like Everton. And as much as it may close the loop, given that he started at Everton, again, given the reaction of the fans when he left, and given what has transpired on both sides since his departure, I'm not sure that the Everton fans want to see this. I'm not sure that it's good business for the football club as well. And when you think of Wayne Rooney, despite him starting his career at Everton, he is seen as Manchester United through and through, a Manchester United legend. And I think as much as I've advocated and well, see no issue in a move abroad, I don't think a move to another Premier League club does that side of his legacy any good. So for me, it just does not make sense for either Everton or for Wayne Rooney. I can understand the way Ronald Koeman feels, but it's not a good fit and doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's always nice to have another manager stroking your ego, and he did say that he believes Wayne Rooney has at least 2 to 3 years left. Do you think that will do anything to help his fortunes possibly now at Manchester United, or is it falling on deaf ears?
I think it's falling on deaf ears in terms of Manchester United. Maybe he has another year left at Old Trafford, but I can't see any more. And, you know, reports already out that he's been frustrated with the bit part that he has to play, which you understand. I don't see him contributing any more meaningfully than that. Maybe a move is the right option. Again, a move abroad for me is the only one that makes sense.
All right, thanks so much, Shaka Hissop. So Shaka's not buying into this one, though.